Ever wonder why that Mercedes you finance cost way more than the price tag? Those C-Class and E-Class buyers walking out thinking they got a deal at $899 a month? It's not luck. Mercedes finance managers are trained professionals, and they're really, really good at what they do. But here's the truth. Even the best negotiated price means nothing if you get destroyed in the finance office. I've worked in dealership finance for over 12 years, including 3 years at a Mercedes store, and I've seen customers pay an extra $12,000 to $18,000 over the life of their loan without even realizing it. Why? Because they trusted the finance manager to look out for them. In this video, I'm sharing finance office tricks that separate smart Mercedes buyers from those who overpay by thousands. No fancy tactics needed, just knowing what to say no to and when. So stick around because these insider tips will save you more money than any rebate or dealer discount. Let's get into it. Number 1. The "let me get you approved" interest rate markup. Alright, here's where I lose half the internet, but I don't care because it's the truth. That interest rate your finance manager quoted you, it's almost never the rate you actually qualified for. I've seen too many Mercedes buyers with 750 credit scores paying 6.9% interest when they qualified for 4.9%. You know what they all had in common? They never asked, what rate did the bank actually approve me at? Here's how the scam works. Mercedes Financial Services approves you at 4.9%. The finance manager is allowed to mark that up by 2% and pocket the difference as commission. So they quote you 6.9%. You think that sounds reasonable for a luxury car, and you sign. On a $70,000 GLE finance for 72 months, that 2% markup costs you an extra $4,800 in interest. The finance manager just made a $2,400 commission off that markup alone, and you'll never even know it happened. Here's my rule. Always ask this exact question. What rate did I actually get approved for? And is this the buy rate or is there a markup? Watch their face when you ask that. If they hesitate or say, this is the best rate available, you know you're getting marked up. A rate comparison takes 30 seconds. Compare that to a $4,800 interest markup you'll pay over 6 years. Trust me on this one. Your Mercedes finance manager's job is to maximize profit per deal, not save you money. Number 2, the extended warranty shell game. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, extended warranties. If you're buying a new Mercedes, the finance manager will absolutely try to sell you an extended warranty, and they'll make it sound like you're an idiot if you don't buy it. But here's what most people don't know. That $4,500 Mercedes Platinum Protection Plan they're pushing, the dealership paid $1,200 for it wholesale. They're marking it up 275% and financing it into your loan, where you'll pay interest on it for 6 years. Watch for these pressure tactics. Mercedes repairs are extremely expensive, creating fear. This covers everything bumper to bumper. It doesn't. You can cancel any time for a full refund. True, but they won't remind you. I can get you approved with this included, bundling to hide the cost. Everyone who finances a Mercedes gets this. Absolute lie. Here's the math they don't want you to do. That $4,500 warranty financed at 6.9% for 72 months actually cost you $5,340 with interest. Meanwhile, new Mercedes come with a 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty already. If you catch these early, you can simply say no and save the entire amount. Wait until after you sign, and they'll make cancellation a bureaucratic nightmare, hoping you just forget about it. Here's my pro tip. If you want an extended warranty, buy it later from a third party or directly from Mercedes for 40 to 60% less than the dealer charges. I know that sounds extreme, but it's cheaper than paying $5,340 for $1,200 worth of coverage. And when you do buy extended coverage, never finance it into the loan. Pay cash or don't buy it at all. Those financed warranties are what turn a 6% loan into an effective 8% loan when you calculate the true cost. Number 3, the payment packing method. This is the slickest trick in the book, and most Mercedes buyers fall for it every single time. The finance manager asks, what monthly payment are you comfortable with? And you say $800 a month. Big mistake. Huge. I've used this trick myself back in the day. Here's how it works. You say $800, so the finance manager builds a deal at $899. Then they work their magic and come back at $850, and you feel like you won because it's close to your target. But here's the truth. They pack that payment with every add-on possible. Extended warranty, gap insurance, tire and ink protection, prepaid maintenance, VIN etching, and low jack. Your $850 payment includes $180 a month in pure profit add-ons. I've seen GLE buyers paying $950 a month when their actual car payment should have been $650. The difference? $300 a month in add-ons they didn't even know they bought. Over 72 months, that's $21,600 in unnecessary charges. The correct answer when they ask about payment is, I'm focused on the total price and interest rate first. We can discuss payment structure after that. Here's what to look for. Finance manager focuses only on monthly payment, never total cost. They won't show you an itemized breakdown. Payment quote includes required products that aren't actually required. They say, I can get you to $799 without explaining what changed. A focused negotiation on price and rate takes maybe an extra 10 minutes. Compare that to a $21,600 payment pack. I know which one I'd choose. Number 4, gap insurance at 400% markup. Gap insurance is actually useful, I'll give them that. If you total your new Mercedes and owe more than it's worth, gap insurance covers the difference. But here's where they get you. The finance manager will quote gap insurance at $995 to $1,495. That same coverage from your car insurance company costs $200 to $300 total, or about $3 to $5 a month added to your existing policy. I've pulled apart too many finance deals where gap insurance cost $1,295 financed into a 6-year loan. With interest, that's $1,540 for coverage you could have bought for $240 from Geico or State Farm. Gap insurance from the dealer generates a 70 to 80% commission for the finance manager. So that $1,295 gap policy puts $900 to $1,000 in their pocket. No wonder they push it so hard. Here's my rule. Call your insurance company before you go to the dealership. Add gap coverage to your policy for $3 a month. When the finance manager offers it, say, I already have gap coverage through my insurance. They'll often respond with dealer gap is better, or insurance gap doesn't cover your deductible. Both are misleading. Read your insurance gap policy. It covers the same thing for 1/5 the price. And here's something critical. If you put 20% or more down on your Mercedes, you probably don't even need gap insurance. You're not underwater on the loan, so there's no gap to cover, but they'll sell it to you anyway, because it's pure profit. Number 5, the 4-square confusion technique. Not all finance managers use this, but the ones who do are trying to confuse you into submission. They pull out a paper with 4 boxes: vehicle price, trade-in value, down payment, and monthly payment. Then they start moving numbers around between boxes like a shell game. They lower your payment by $50, but somehow your trade-in value dropped by $2,000. They increase your trade allowance, but now you need to put $3,000 more down. I've seen this technique trap even sophisticated Mercedes buyers with MBA degrees. Why? Because they're tracking 4 moving variables while the finance manager controls the pen. The 4-square works because it hides the actual numbers that matter. The true price of the car, the actual value of your trade, and the real interest rate you're paying. Here's how to shut it down immediately. Say this: I appreciate the effort, but I need to negotiate one item at a time. First, what's your best out-the-door price for this car with no trade-in? Once we agree on that, we'll discuss my trade separately. If they refuse or say we don't work that way, you're at a dealership that relies on confusion to make profit. Walk out. Mercedes dealers are everywhere, and the good ones will negotiate transparently. Pro tip: never negotiate all 4 variables at once. Price first, trade-in second, financing third, add-ons fourth. In that order, always.